Hello and welcome to another edition of the Backend Report. My name is Carlos Torres, and along with Altvater, every week we check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, hey, we have it for you. And Fred, Solheim Cup is what we have right now.
Carlos, I had a great time being at the Solheim Cup. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. I watched the first tee shots on Saturday morning. I was right there on the first tee, standing there taking pictures, and it was truly something I will never remember. You know, I've had the chance to be at a Ryder Cup. I've been at all the majors except for an Open Championship. And this was being there, standing on that tee at the Solheim Cup. That was really something. I really did enjoy that. It was great seeing the players there. US just didn't have enough gas to get it done. The Euros were just too good.
They were, yeah. You know, is it true that they call Toledo Glass City?
Yes. That's
okay,
correct.
So we know who are they racing the glasses on Monday night, right? Because it was Europe, and maybe it wasn't surprising that they won. We had talked about this last week that they had the better team, maybe the deepest team, and even though they were going to be playing visitors this time, it looked like they had the team to win, and we expected it to be close. But I think this was over with that lead that started to be up front on that first day. The U.S. did come back to try to close the gap with that miraculous three points that they won on not Saturday, Sunday. It's difficult to see Saturday and Sunday when you're usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But anyway, the U.S. tried and they did come back. Unfortunately, at the end, that 2-point lead that the Europe was having was too difficult to bear. In the singles, you usually go with the team that has the deepest team, and in this time, Europe, even though they split 6-6, the points definitely was Team Europe's win. From there, we had seen some of the newest stars. The rookies definitely were the ones that carried Europe, with Leona Maguire stamping herself as a future star. Matilda Castren showing why she's definitely one of the hottest players in the world right now. She also gave 3 points, 3 wins there. But Fred, I think Europe definitely deserved it. They won. Leona, definitely the first rookie ever to win 4.5 points. I think that this 15-13 humdinger was a team effort in the glorious tradition of the underdogs crossing the Atlantic, right, to defeat their supposed superiors. And when Matilda Castren clutch putt from 8 feet on the 18th to ensure Europe retained the cup, was perhaps maybe the most enduring image to me of this tournament.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that a lot of takeaways, and one of them for me, Mel Reed, Suzanne Pedersen, and Anna Nordquist, they were fantastic leaders for the European team. Suzanne Pedersen was in this thing. It was fun to see her on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday working with the team members and doing their thing in their pods and stuff like that. You talked about a couple of young players. Emily Pedersen, she is a star. She's been through the good stuff. She's been through the bad, and now she's back to the good. And I'll tell you what, I like her game a lot. I think she's in great shape. Stacey Lewis, I've known Stacey for a long time now, and she was more relaxed during this thing than I have ever seen her. She was smiling, she was jovial, she was chatting everybody up, she was having a good time. And Stacey's pretty quiet, normally pretty quiet and pretty reserved, but she was having a good time with this thing. I sent a text to you after the captains met with the media. I could never understand Angela Stanford. We never knew much about her. She is an asset. I get it. She's got a great head on her shoulders, and I know she was an asset to the team. And Catriona Matthew, nothing gets to her. She doesn't get rattled easily. She's got a plan. They stick to it. They do their thing. The Euros now are not intimidated. So many of them play college golf over here now, so they're familiar with the United States. It's just no big deal coming over. Most of them play on the LPGA Tour, so they're familiar with all the people. They know they can beat them on any given day. So it's not like it's the LET coming over here playing the LPGA. They're all LPGA players, and they've all played college golf together. So they're not intimidated. It's a team deal. Mike, why are the American teams so bad at foursomes? Why can't we play foursomes? We never do it. I guess maybe that's a big thing. But you mentioned it. That first session, they were 3 points behind. They got a half a point out of 4 matches. That was ungodly. Leona Maguire, you've been talking her up for about a year, and she is a star right now. We're not waiting for her. She's a star now. I got a question for you. Today, I know we watched all of it today. What for you was the most significant win in the singles? Was it Lexi only maybe getting a half a point? Was it Ewing or the Cup Ewing, or was it Cupcho getting drilled by Maguire? In the first 7 matches out, the USA only got 2 points. They got 1 win. Nelly got a win, and they got 2 halves out of the first 7 matches. And they had to have, out of those first 7, they had to have 4 points, and they didn't even get. They got half of that.
To me, the most it was difficult, because you say when you see what would be the strategy, you're 2 points down, 9-7. And what are you going to do? Are you going to front load it, or you have to try to balance it out, right? But those first 3 had to be as strong as possible. Try to get as many points, or at least some momentum going. We talked about this, that Lexi and Anna Nordqvist was going to be key, and they really put on a show there, going back and forth. You would say that, hey, Lexi hasn't been playing to her abilities. If you see, she went 1-2-1, so effectively that's just less than half a point, minus half a point total effective when you see that. So it's just 1 win, but again, that half a point gave them some good chance. Leona Maguire was important, because Jennifer and her, that match before that, Jennifer, when they said Salas, they have that match, that was really, really important for them to have that match, because otherwise it would have been maybe not only that. I felt like the Europe team took a little bit of that momentum that the US was putting back on. They were 2-1 leading that there. If from coming to almost losing that match on the 17th, losing that hole, if you would see, they would have been then 2-2. It would have been a 3-game deficit, which would have been more difficult for the US. So it was key for them to do that. So Jennifer had been playing really, really well, but Leona was the star, definitely. If you see what Mel Reid said after the match, she had a lucky bounce, but she really knew that she had to go for it, because she said, hey, I know Leona's been making putts from everywhere, so I'm just going to take the risk and I'm going to go flag hunting. So she did. It worked out for them, and they were able to have the point. But one of the things that we were saying is that we knew that Nelly Korda also was important for her to beat Georgia Hall, because we knew about Georgia Hall, how good she was, and Georgia started out on fire. And Nelly trying to come back, and the way that she did it, nobody would have faulted her if she would have just folded and let it go. No, she fought back. Yeah, it was back and forth. She might have won if she would have done. She would have won easier if she would have, hit the ball here and there better. But at the same time, that was a key. And the other match that was key that we talked about was the Matilda Castro and Lisette Salas in the middle, because Matilda is the rookie, Lisette is the veteran. But at that time, you know that Matilda has been playing really, really well. She was 2-0-1 coming into the, no, it was 2-1 coming into the singles. And she, like I have mentioned, she's one of this hottest players, hottest informed players. So that one there, and of course this became the 14th point, but that was going to be the key in the middle for the rest to really have some chance to try to get that momentum going. So to me, those were the important ones. So Leona Maguire to retain, to win the way that she, not the way that she won, but to win over Jennifer, the way that she won really inspired the Europeans to maintain that, because I expected her to win, but the way that she did it, which was 5-4, I mean, that was amazing for me. And she was the only player to play all five matches. So where did she get all that strength from? But
she's
no,
young.
To me, she is. But again, she just did what she has been doing in college and in the amateurs. She's just now starting to realize her potential. I can't wait to see. To me, this is her breakthrough, and I expect her to be a dominant force in the Solheim Cup. But Anna Nordqvist and Lexi Thompson was important. Nelly Corda with Georgia Hall was super important. Leona, and then the Lisette Salas and Matilda Castro. That was going to be the one that would swing it one way or the other. If Lisette would have pulled that one off, things would have been very, very different.
Yeah, you know, we said last week that, or I said last week that Lexi, Danielle Kang, and Nelly Corda had to get 2 points each. They had to get 6 points. And only Nelly Corda got to 2. Kang and Lexi did not. So to me, that's the big players for the USA team did not live up to their billing. And it looked to me, especially like Lexi at times, and Nelly too, they were pressing. They were trying to make something happen where the other players, especially like Anna Nordqvist, she was just playing her game, hit it down the fairway, hit it up on the green, making a putt here and there. Well, she was making a little more than a putt here and there, but they were not pressing. They were just playing their game. And I think that's what the Europeans were doing so well. They didn't get caught up in it. They didn't get too hyper. They just played their game, and it all worked out. So, Carlos, you and I and Kieran all agreed that the Europeans had the upper hand in this thing from the beginning. I talked to several media people during the week on grounds, and they all felt the same thing, that the Europeans were going to be really tough to beat. I know everybody's writing that, well, the U.S. is loaded and all this, but it just looked to me like the Europeans were going to be good, and they were. It was fun. It was great. It was fantastic for Toledo. I really enjoyed being there, and I will cherish the memory. But the Europeans are right now are on a roll on the Solheim Cup, and they're making the U.S. team look really bad.
It's 4 out of 5 now for them, so they're coming. They're definitely dominating this.
And now we have to go over there the next time
to Spain. So who knows what's going to happen? But we have Nelly, still young. She should be the anchor of this. Lexi definitely has to come back and be better. But if you come to see, there were 2 stars to come out of the U.S. team that I think are going to be key moving forward. Jennifer Kupcho, 2-1-1, very well. She played really, really well. Yes, she was paired with Lisette Salas on that veteran rookie, but the way that she played was really, really, really good. And the way that she shipped that one for that birdie on 17, that was cool, calm, and collected, the way that she did it for her team. I think that she's one, and Gialini Nell was 2-1. So those 2 youngsters are going to be very key, alongside with Nelly, Lexi, and Danielle Kang moving forward. I think those are 2 to look forward to. Now on the European side, well, you also have some young ladies coming up. Like you have, of course, Leona Maguire. You have a Matilda Castro in 3-1. Madeline Sackstrom, even though she was 1-2, but she's a good player that I think should be there. Georgia Hall, still young. You have Emily K. Peterson. She was 3-1 as well. She has a bright future coming up. She just dominated the LET, and Nana Madsen 1-1. So, the US looks like they have some youngsters, but the Europeans also do have some youngsters, and US has has a big assignment coming up, trying to see how they can move and flip this over. So, any final thoughts on this?
No, I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. It was great being there. The 3-year build up for it has been wonderful. It's been, and I have to say, Becky Newell, the tournament director, kudos to her. Alex Graff, her assistant, they just did a wonderful job pulling all of this stuff together. And then Judd Silverman, who originally raised the money, got the people together, and Marathon for having the idea to bring this thing to Toledo. Kudos to all those people for pulling this thing. And I have to tell you, Judd Silverman is normally a pretty quiet guy. He doesn't get too excited. And on Saturday morning, after the first tee shots were hit, I turned around and Judd was standing right there, and he was actually giddy. He was so excited. And I congratulate him on getting this done and the work that he put in to do this. And he was so excited that this was actually happening. And the first tee balls it was really fun to see. Like I say, I was just glad I was there. It was a great thing.
Well, we're gonna have to wait 2 more years. 2023, it'll be in Spain, and it'll be the last time that it will be played on odd years, because the Ryder Cup had to be moved to 2021. There'll be 2023. The Solheim Cup will be 1 week before the Ryder Cup in 2023 in Spain. They'll be back in 2024 in the States. That's gonna be interesting how that's gonna play out. We still don't know when or where it's gonna be in the States. It's going to be announced at a later date, but we can't wait to see what's going to happen in Spain in the Solheim Cup. So anyway, with that, we thank you for joining us. Always remember to subscribe to our channel so you can keep up to date with the latest golf news and information. Also, you can do that by subscribing by following us on Twitter, Back9 Report with the number 9 in the middle. Thank you for joining us.